feeling great, or postural issues. So it's great to have you here. Hey, if you're joining us today, will you please say hello in the chat? You can chat below. Sometimes it takes 2 times to do it, just so you know. As much as we love technology, it doesn't always work perfectly. So just leave me a message. That would be awesome. If you have questions, I would love to answer those for you as well. We're going to try to keep it a little bit on the tighter side today. I know the last couple ones, if you've been with me, we've gone into a lot of detail. So if you're new here, you can always go back and look at those under the lives on my YouTube or the posts on my Facebook, where we went into a lot of detail about healing bulging and herniated discs, understanding the 2 major mechanisms of pain in the spine. And today I'm going to keep it a little bit lighter. I'd just like to give you a couple tips on just feeling better today, and a couple things you can do. So let's get after it here. So we're going to talk about how to heal your back naturally from the comfort of your home with a 90% success rate. So that's a lot of what we've been teaching about recently. So I'd like to give you just a couple pointers today. So 2 tips to help you feel better right now. So let's talk about it. Number 1. But hey, if you're joining us, I'd love to say hello to you as well. So please make sure you write a little comment in the comment either on Facebook or YouTube, so I can see you and give you a wave and a shout out, and of course answer any questions for you. So one of the things that, and I'll get my face off here so you can see a little bit better here, is side posture. And side posture plays a major role in not only how good we look and how we feel, because it does have a major effect on our hormones. Hey, Marisa, great to have you here. Thanks for joining. But it has a major effect on how our bodies function and our hormones function as well. So let's talk about what normal posture is for a second. Let's see if I can blow that up a little bit bigger for you. So when we look at people's posture, when I was in full-time practice for 24 years, we always start at the feet and we go up. And the major reason that we do that is because the feet contain the majority of the mechanoreceptors. Mechanoreceptors are sensors in our muscles, ligaments, tendons, and joints, and they are constantly telling the back part of our brain, back here called the cerebellum, where we are 3-dimensionally in space. So there's a back part of the brain called the cerebellum right here, and there's a part of the cerebellum called the vermis, and the vermis's job is to be the computer for our posture. And the cool part about it is that even if you have abnormal posture, you can reprogram and do a software update to the vermis by changing your posture. So I want you to know that. So please don't feel stuck if you have one of these abnormal postures. There's a lot you can do to change it. I'm going to show you how to do it today for a minute. So what we want to do is there's a bony bump on the ankle. I'll get here so you can see. So if you look or you feel down by your ankle, there's kind of a bony bump right here. So where that bony bump is, the middle of your hip, the middle of your shoulder, and the middle of your ear, where you stick your finger in right there, okay, those should be lined up. My kids always seem to stand like the second image. Well, that's become really popular, unfortunately, and it's not a healthy posture. And when you look, when we look at people who are, are in this realm, they're usually doing what I'm going to show you on the next slide. So if you can start to get them to do that, that's going to help a lot. There's also a great exercise you can do as well, where we stand against the wall. And I'm going to show you how to do a couple things here really immediately, is to correct that posture when you're standing, but also strengthening some of the muscles are going to make a really big difference for you, Marisa, and for your children. So when we go to here, this is your typical text neck posture, this thoracic kyphosis, where we're on our phone, all right, typically looking down at it for most people, right, this, and what that does is it starts to create this increased curvature of the mid-back. And unfortunately, you got to get on that, because if you don't get on that, you start looking at older people, you go to church, you're at the grocery store, and you start seeing people, they're all slumped over. This is how it started. Bones remodel themselves. What's remodeling mean? It means that they have the ability to change their physical shape. So when we're born, our bones are actually the gravitational field of our planet is actually what forms it. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't know that. So gravity is imperative for healing of bone fractures. That's why there's such a big issue of how do we live on Mars, for instance, because we don't have the same gravity there. And if we get injured, how does the body heal? So that's a lot of kind of really interesting science to read about. But to remodel bones, we don't want to create wedging occurring to the bones. And wedging can occur to bones when there's abnormal postures and someone starts to lean forward a lot, like this. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple things. So one of the best exercises that you can do is stand against the wall, put your butt against the wall. Your feet don't have to be against the wall. You're going to pull your shoulders back against the wall, bring your head back so your head hits it. Deep breath in, lift that chest up, put those shoulders back and hold that for 10 seconds. I'm going to give credit where credit's due. This is actually, I learned this from Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's an amazing exercise to do. It'll build your confidence immediately. It'll lower your cortisol levels as well. And it just makes you feel good emotionally. So it's a great postural exercise. Hey, you notice when people are depressed, right, and anxious, they don't stand like this. They're not standing tall. They're standing in this slump position. So what we've learned is that by changing posture, we can actually change emotional states and almost immediately, which is incredible. So again, back against the wall, okay, suck your belly button in a little bit, push your butt against the wall. You can bring your feet off because they don't have to be against the wall, but we're gonna pull those shoulders back, up a little bit, stretch and elongate that head, deep breath in, hold that breath, push the shoulders back. You're gonna hold that posture for 10 seconds, like this, and then you can relax. And you want to do 4 of those in a row. Take a little break in between. You're going to notice a big difference when you get off that wall. You're going to be standing much straighter, and emotionally, you're going to be feeling happier and more optimistic. So that's one thing. So please watch your posture. Okay, it's super, super, super important. And we want you like this because I'll tell you what, if you look at older people whose posture starts to look like this or like that, they're not healthy. They have a tremendous amount of respiratory issues, cardiovascular issues. Their energy levels go way down in their life. And they just don't have the vitality that they used to. And yet you watch someone who has a posture like this right there when they're 70, 80, and 90, I'll tell you what, man, they're still out having fun. They have great vitality. They usually sleep good. Their energy levels are good. Their brain works good. So posture is way more than just how we look. It has a major, major effect on the physiology. The function is what physiology means of how our bodies work. Okay, so please be aware of your posture. And one of the big hacks that you can do as well is set a reminder on your phone. Set alarms on your phone every hour to stand up straight, okay? And you'd be amazed at those little reminders, those little alarms. I do them all the time. I have affirmations on my phone that go off to remind me of how I want to live, what type of person I want to be in my life, what I want to visualize, how I want my posture to be, how I want my health to be. Those things are really important. And trust me, we all need reminders, including myself as a doctor. So that's one of my little hacks and tips right there. Okay, so this is what you're going for. Right there is this guy. All right, and that exercise from Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to help you get there really quick. And I just added a couple of things, sucking that belly button back and getting it back against the wall. If you like that idea, let me know. I can always do a video on that and put it up on our YouTube channel. So let's look at the next thing that I want to talk to you about, and that is, well, this will just give you a quick little idea here. So when we have too much excessive curvature in the low back like this, it typically is going to lead to a posture similar to that, where we start getting rounded because the spine's always trying to balance itself. So what we're looking for is we're going for this right here and that. So the low back should have a curvature that comes down here, and then it should start to increase as you get down toward the bottom. That's called a lordotic curve. It's actually an ellipsoid curve, not that you need to know that, but that's how we look on the inside. So that's what we want to go for versus that, okay? Or excessive curve. So tip number 2 is, let's talk about getting your neck to feel better. Well, and one of the biggest things, and we've kind of already chatted about this, right, is holding our phone up. So holding our phone up is going to play a major role in keeping the cervical curve or the neck curve proper. So when our neck curve is proper, it should come down like this. And it should be on the shape of an arc like that. Why? Well, our brain stem sits up here. And when you look at the majority of cranial nerves, those are nerves that come off of the brain stem, they come off of this area, and then they run down through a little hole or tunnel right in this area of the spine. Okay? And to make sure that there's no mechanical tension, mechanical pulling on the spinal cord, the neck has to be in the shape of this curve. And one of the biggest things of why we're losing that curvature in the neck is because we are doing this, sitting in couches and working on laptops all the time. And that's what's doing it. And so to prevent that, we got to stop doing this, okay? Because that's what everybody's doing. And if you look at my curve when I do this, it is going the total opposite way. And what that does is that creates a tremendous amount of tension onto the brain stem. And the brain stem is a huge part that controls the rest of your brain and your body, okay? So it's mandatory to make sure that you stay like this. I know it's a pain in the butt, and I'm not immune to it. You know, it feels a little bit more natural, to be honest with you, hold your phone right here. But I remind myself all the time to hold it up and keep it up like this, all right? And I know people look at me, I don't care, all right? I want to set an example, all right? Because I want to keep my spine and nervous system healthy my whole life. So when I'm 80, 90, 100, 110, 115 years old, God willing, you know, and I'm still feeling great, that I can enjoy life and be amazing. I got so much to do, and I know you got so much to do too. So you got to know how to keep your body healthy, and this is one of the major ways that you're going to do it, is by keeping yourself and doing this little tip. So yeah, your kids are going to bitch at you all the time because you're constantly riding their butt about it, but I don't care. I do it to my kids all the time, and you know what? They're going to come back one day and thank you. So you got to stop getting this right here. This is a big no-no for everybody. All right. So those are my 2 tips for today. I hope that you found them. Inspiring. I hope that I know for a fact if you start doing them, you're going to notice a big difference. Set some alarms on your phone to remind you to stand up tall. Hey, Stephanie, great to have you here. Elongate your spine. Suck your belly button in a little bit. Pull those shoulders slightly back, not a lot. So a lot of people, what they want to do is they want to start to like lean back like this. You don't want to do that, okay? What you want to do is just suck your belly button in, elongate your spine like I had a hook screwed into your head and we're just pulling you up like this. That's what you want to be doing, all right? Belly button in, shoulders slightly back, and elongation. If you do those 3 things, it's going to go so far for you and helping your posture stay healthy for you. If you got specific questions, don't be afraid to DM me. You know, we have also spent the last 1.5 years creating a course called Disc University. If you're suffering with spinal pain, bulging disc, herniated disc, spinal stenosis, arthritis in your spine, if you're getting numbness, weakness down your arms, hands, fingers, where you can't hold on to things anymore, you don't trust your legs, you don't feel like you can hold your grandchildren anymore or play or get out in the garden like you used to, I created a course with 24 years of experience to teach you and help you from your home get your spine's health back. And I want to let you know it is possible to do, and it's got almost a 90% success rate, and you can do it from your home with my guidance. And you get to watch the videos as many times as you want and take your time doing it. You don't have to drive anywhere. There's no co-pays, there's no co-insurances, you don't have to make appointments, find places to park, and all the crap that you got to do when you normally go to a doctor's office. This is the virtual world, people, where it's almost like telemedicine. I get to come to you instead of you having to come to me, and you get to do it for a fraction of the cost. So I hope you'll go take a look at Disc University. It's in the bio on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook. So if you just go up to the bio, you can click on it. There's links there. And just because I love you and I want to help you feel better, if you put that code in right there, Relief20, that'll give you a 20% discount off of it as well if you think that it'll be a course that will help you get your life back. We have hundreds of testimonials of people that have changed their lives. I've worked with thousands of people in my clinic like that, and I know it can make a difference, and that's why I created it. So I hope you'll go take a look at DISC University, please. I hope I answered some questions. I hope I inspired you to feel better today. So try a couple of those tips and leave me a message and tell me what you think. Also, if you have a subject that you'd like to learn about on Back Talks, please let me know. It's always fun to make some new stuff that I don't always think about that might be important to you. So I would love to do that. So leave me a message and let me know. I appreciate you all so much. Thanks for being here today. It's always a pleasure sharing this. I hope that you choose, and it is a choice, to make today an amazing day. Love you. See you next week. Thanks for being here.